I've made a few little videos and uploaded them to YouTube. They all may seem a little bit random in their content, but I've sort of been beating around the bush with what I actually wanted to talk about, and I wanted to share some of my experiences with anyone who cares about reincarnation, ancestral memory, and all things spiritual when it comes to being a European by blood. I don't live in Europe, so I can't vouch for that aspect when we talk about blood and soil, that type of thing. But I just want to share some of my anecdotes. If it makes sense to anyone, that's great. Part of the reason of me doing this was to make sense of it in words myself. I understand what's going on in my head, but I've often found it hard to put into words. So a lot of the purpose of this is to practice speaking. But I've dodged some of the topics that I've wanted to speak about because I haven't really known where to start. Anyone who knows anything about life and death and time knows that time is not linear. Death and life is not linear, but circular. So at what point of the circle does my story and experience start? Very hard to do. So I've tried to break things down into categories that can be ingested separately and then pieced together at a later date, if anyone is even watching all of my videos. I'm sure this little explanation is going to be extremely helpful to my 12 subscribers. But yeah, I just wanted to share where I intend on going with this and why I started it in the first place. My first video I ever made was titled something along the lines of Othala, Greed and Sacrifice. This was inspired by a YouTuber that goes by the name Thomas Winchester. So I'd like to thank him for the inspiration, if he's watching. And a lot of other videos I've made have sort of been relevant to what I have been watching. They're all ideas I've had in my head, things that I wanted to share, but as I see them in other videos, they've inspired me to respond, I guess you could say. They're not necessarily video responses, but just videos inspired by. So there it is. This particular video was inspired by Hugin and Moonen. So I'd like to thank him, if you're watching, for making me do something. But what I want to do is share a little bit more, not in this video, but in some coming videos, about my spiritual, pagan experiences. As I said, I don't intend on telling anyone what is what. I'm no authority on any of these things other than my own experience, to which I am the ultimate authority of my experience. Don't ever let anyone tell you that you don't know what you're experiencing, because they don't know what you're experiencing, only you do. So, yeah. So I'm going to make some seemingly random topic videos, trying to get to the point, but I want to make sure I've laid down the groundwork, if you will, to where I'm going with this when it comes to my reincarnation experience, or my understanding of it anyway. I'm no expert on this, as I said, but I have some experience that I would like to share, so hopefully this makes sense and it wasn't just a complete rambling. another point of these videos was to try and be more clearer in the way I speak about things when I'm sharing my ideas, because I found myself a lot in the past saying shit that obviously doesn't make sense to people. It makes sense to me because I have the full story in my mind. And when you share just a few little words and assume that everyone knows everything that you're talking about, and then look at them and go, you don't get what I'm saying? Gotta just check yourself every now and then and realise that people haven't heard all of your thoughts. They've only heard what you've told them, and even then they may not have been listening in the first place. So I'm going to try and put my words out there in a way that they make sense as quick as possible. When I say quick, I mean I try to keep the video short. The only way to begin to understand someone's life is to sit down and talk to them for a lifetime, so there's no way of fast tracking that, but just cut out the shit, basically. I'm already talking a lot of shit, so I'm going to cut it there. But I'm going to make another video soon, so get excited if that's the sort of thing that excites you. If not, do whatever the hell you want.